Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, we are back with another haul, but I am trying to do a 5 before I buy. I was doing really well with like not buying books, and then I wasn't. Now I am quite grateful because a couple of these I actually was gifted, so I'm very grateful for that. And there's a couple of them that as well were from charity shops, which I never count because it's for charity, like it is what it is. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first book I actually don't have. It was gifted to me, but my little sister decided she was going to borrow it straight away, and that was Akatar by Sarah J Maas. And then the other book that I was kindly gifted by another Instagram friend was Jessica Knowles' Luckiest Girl Alive. This, I believe, is the one with Mila Kunis on Netflix. I'm pretty sure I haven't hauled this yet, so... But yeah, I can't wait to read this one because I love a good old psychological thriller. I think the main character comes from a really dark past, like her upbringing was like not the best, and then she works her way up, but she's obviously like keeping this like dark past as a secret to her now probably dreamy life, and I believe it all just comes unraveling, and that is very interesting to me, so I cannot wait to read this one. There was another book that was gifted to me. It is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. This is the last one that I need, I believe, because I have the other 3 up there already. This is the last one, so I'm so happy that this now completes the series and I can maybe finally start it, because I actually haven't yet, so that's interesting. I believe this is the Bodyguard romance, is that right? Yeah, so she's the one who's the princess, and I'm guessing she falls in love with the bodyguard, and it reminds me of that one, what's her name? Katie Holmes movie, you know what I'm talking about, where she's like a princess, or no, she's not a princess, she's like the president's daughter or something like that. This is the vibe it's going to give, and a lot of people say that this is their favorite from all of the Twisted series books, so very exciting. Next we have, this actually isn't mine, this is my little sister's, but she left it in my bag, so I'm going to include it because I'm going to borrow this as well from her. But she picked up The Premonition by Banana Yoshimoto. A lot of the Asian literature that I have read gives the same vibe of it's very slice of life, but also very melancholic and sad, but also with a little bit of quirky, like, oddness to it, and this is what it's giving. It's just like a slice of life family. She goes and lives with like a kind of like an oddball aunt, I believe, and then she just kind of questions life, as these books often do. So yeah. Oh, okay, so there were 2 books that I thrifted, and let me tell you now, oh, was it 2? No, 3 books that I thrifted. 2 is books 1 and 2 of a 3-part series. I actually manifested this because I really wanted to pick this up, but I didn't want to pay full price for it. So when I walk into the store, into the charity shop, and I was, okay, let me just show you the books first. Summer I Turn Pretty and It's Not Summer Without You, and I specifically wanted these ones, the like the Amazon ones. So I will sacrifice these little stickers if it means that I get like the toned down covers, if that makes sense, and I love how it looks like that. So fun story, I have been wanting this for so long, and it's always at Waterstones, etc., but I just couldn't justify paying that much money for it, just because, I don't know, I just didn't. But I absolutely loved the TV show. Can't wait for the last season to come out. But anyway, so I went into Waterstones and was like, oh, it's there, but you know, I don't want to get it. I'm gonna just hopefully, you know, thrift it. And I have never seen this in any thrift stores, that's why I haven't got it. And then I went to the shop next door, and considering I haven't been to any of the charity shops for like months at this point, I was like, do you know what, I had like 10 minutes spare on my lunch breaks. I was like, let's just nip into this one, and I randomly went into this one and found these guys, and these were like £1 each, so, and it's in like really good condition, so I am very happy with that. Also, Team Conrad, obviously. And then the other book that I thrifted is Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Rumfitt. This is very interesting to me because I have had my eye on this for so long, and it's in pristine condition, £1.50. This is like a horror story, but it looks into society's outlooks and just like gender, and you know, specifically with like queer and trans experiences. And this is also based in Brighton, which is like where I work, so interesting to me because I love books that are based in places I've lived at or, you know, have worked in, and Brighton is somewhere I've, like I said, I've lived and worked at before, and so it's going to be very interesting. And yeah, I've heard not very many reviews about it, but every single one that I've heard have been like, this was such an experience. It's kind of like, you know how Jordan Peele does society horrors, if that makes sense. Like, it's your typical horror movie, but it's definitely very socio-political. This is what kind of vibe I'm getting from it. So yeah, very interested to see how this one goes. Okay, now for new books. I picked up 3 books from the works as part of the, did I pick up 3? Yeah, as part of the 3 for £6 deal, because duh, like literally the works is just such a blessing to us readers here in the UK. Like, sometimes I watch Americans and Australians and whatever, like, tell us how much they've spent on like a singular book. And that is insane to me, because to be fair, even if you go to Waterstones, it's never that much, but it is just insane how much, you know, books cost everywhere else. So with the works as well, like, ridiculous. Anyway, 3 for £6 deal. So the first one I picked up was The Storied Life of AJ Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. I have not seen many people talk about other Gabrielle Zevin books that isn't Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. That was a 5-star read for me and one of my favorites of last year. I don't know if this is meant to be like YA-ish, just because the font is very, I don't know, it's just giving YA a bit. I believe this follows like a bookstore, and the owner like finds this child like in his bookstore and is like being asked to look after this child, basically. Really enjoyed Gabrielle Zevin's writing style, and like I said, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow was just to me, so I'm very excited to read more of her work. So this one sounded really fun. And then I picked up The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I'm actually gonna give this to my mum to take on holiday, just because she's going on a flight and she loves a good thriller. Frida McFadden writes easily consumable thrillers. I feel like they're very fast paced, so I'm gonna give this to her just because she can take that on a flight and read it. And then, oh my gosh, I literally like, I went like that when I saw this, because it is the last one I need. As you can see, I have the 4 out of 5 Chestnut Spring series books. So lo and behold, I was so tempted to buy this at Waterstones as well, like before I went to the works, because I've been to a couple of the works and none of them have had Hopeless, and I was like, oh, it's probably because it's new, right? So tell me why I went into Waterstones and was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. Actually, let me just go to the works first, because I know I might want other books. I really wasn't expecting to get this. I just didn't want to spend £9 on this. £10, £9.99. 3 for £6. This cost me £2. This cost me £2. Like, oh, and now it gets to sit with my full box set for Chestnut Spring series, and I couldn't be happier, because that genuinely, the chokehold that that series had/has on me, insane. Like, absolutely insane. Like, I, don't get me wrong, enjoyed like sports romances, etc., but none of them had the same chokehold on me than this bloody cowboy romance series, because I was listening to nothing but Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, Casey Musgraves, Kelsey Ballerini. I was in it. I was like on my Megan Maroney shit. I was in so deep that I was like, oh my god, I blacked out and bought cowboy boots. Yeah. I don't think I even talked about the last 2 books. Oh, The Locked Door is, I don't know, actually. I don't like to know anything about thrillers, so I'm not going to read it, really. I read it once. I obviously found it really interesting. Not going to read it again, because I've obviously forgotten. Hopeless is Beau's book. This is age gap and fake engagement. This one was okay. It's definitely not my favorite. It's not in my top 3 of the 5, definitely. And because I was on a big fat cowboy romance hype, I picked up Lila Sage's Done and Dusted for £3. I was literally ready to buy this from Amazon, because the cover is the best that I've ever seen. Like, I love this cover. It's literally one of my favorites. I'm peeling off the sticker now so I can show you, although I doubt you don't know what it looks like, because everybody and their mamas were talking about this last year. Let's do that. Okay, look how cute that is. I have actually read this, and I gave this one, I think, like a 4-star as well. But yeah, this was very cute. This is brother's best friend. Also, like, not enemies to lovers, but you know what I mean, like they're a little bit like mad at each other. But yeah, definitely brother's best friend, and it was just so cute. Love this. So I can't wait for the next book, which I can't remember what it was called. Swift and Saddled. Anyway, And then we have 2 more books that I picked up from Waterstones, and these books I have actually been so excited to get. I just didn't want to get them as a hardback, so I was very happy to see that they were both finally out on paperback. So the first one we have here is Woman Eating by Claire Coda, and this sounds so spooky and like so scary and unhinged, and I love that. And it's not like a spooky, it's not like a horror one, but it's like she eats like other people basically. I think she's just like a girly who's trying to live like a normal life, but she just can't stop eating people, and she's trying not to, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's a fairly short book. It's 248 pages, which is always lovely. So yeah, I can't wait to read that. But yeah, that's definitely like part of my weird book collection. I'm gonna pop that in between A Certain Hunger and probably the DeLorean, like, you know, like those weird, like, oh my god, books. Anyway, last but not least, we have Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll. First of all, I love this cover. Love this cover. Love it. Follows, I'm pretty sure, like a serial killer of like a sorority, but what I love about it is it's based in Seattle, which is where I used to go every summer as a kid because my grandparents lived there and my cousins and my aunties. So I just love, again, like I said, I just love reading books about places that I can really imagine in my head. And also just I don't love them. What I'm saying is like the idea of serial killers in the 70s being so rife, like 70s, 80s, is just insane to me. So like I am so intrigued as to what this is going to be like, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So these are all the books that I picked up recently. So now hold me accountable and make sure I read 5 books before I buy any more. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.